Good morning everyone. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app. You can attempt the quiz in this app and you can read detailed explanation. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. We have started a new channel, Civils Academy. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. For hard copy books, you can visit our website gktbooks.com. Now let's start. What is the name of telemedicine service offered by the Union Health Ministry? So the name of this service is e-Sanjeevani. Now first thing first, what is telemedicine? So it is a combination of two terms, tele plus medicine. It refers to the practice of providing treatment to the patients who are remotely located. What does that mean? It means the patient and doctor are not physically present with each other. So you can say the patient is in, for example, Bihar. The doctor is in Uttar Pradesh and they are communicating with the help of technology, and this is how the doctor is providing treatment to the patient. So this is telemedicine, and the name of telemedicine service of Union Health Ministry is e-Sanjeevani. Recently this was in news because it crossed a milestone of 3 million consultations, and Tamil Nadu is on top position in terms of number of consultations. Present Health Minister is Dr. Harshvardhan. Recently he was in news because he has been appointed as the chairperson of Stop TB Partnership Board. TB stands for tuberculosis. So this board was established in 2000, and the objective of this board is to eliminate tuberculosis as a public health problem. Recently this board was in news as Dr. Harshvardhan has been appointed as the chairperson of this board. The newly formed Indian Oil Corporation Finergy JV is to replace lithium with which metal to make batteries for electric vehicles. So first thing first, JV is a joint venture. It is a joint venture of two companies. One is Indian Oil Corporation and second is Finergy. So this joint venture is going to make batteries for electric vehicles. Now in the batteries, instead of lithium, they are going to use aluminium. So they are going to replace lithium with aluminium to make these batteries, and these batteries will be used for electric vehicles. And the first customers are going to be Maruti Suzuki and Ashok Leyland. This Finergy is a company of Israel and it is a battery developer. This Indian Oil Corporation is a government owned entity. So instead of lithium, they are going to use aluminium. Now please note that lithium is a rare metal and it is used to make batteries for electric vehicles, for mobile phone components. Now recently lithium was also in news as first lithium refinery of lithium is going to be in Gujarat. First means first lithium refinery of India is going to be in the state of Gujarat. Apart from that, recently few deposits of lithium were found in Mandya district of Karnataka. Recently one more high value metal was in news and it is vanadium. Answer in comment box. Recently it was found in which state of India? Which country has rolled out larger denomination banknotes due to hyperinflation? So this country is Venezuela. Now first thing first, inflation is increase in price. So here you need to know about different terms related to inflation. What is inflation? What is deflation? What is disinflation? What is stagflation? What is skewed inflation? Skewed inflation means inflation for limited products. For example, inflation only in say vegetables. Rest everything is going normal, but in case of vegetables the price is very high. Stagflation is a combination of stagnation plus inflation. That means market is stagnant even though the prices are increasing. So inflation is price rise. Deflation is decline in price. Disinflation is reduction in the rate of inflation. Please note that in case of disinflation, inflation is still there. Suppose previously the inflation was of say 7%. Now if it is of 5%, then it is disinflation. So recently Venezuela was in news because of hyperinflation. Yes. Now your homework is to read about hyperinflation, galloping inflation. Now if we check the geographical location of Venezuela, it is a country in South America. This is Pacific Ocean, this is Atlantic Ocean, this is Caribbean Sea, and this is Venezuela. Capital of Venezuela is Caracas. It shares border boundary with Brazil, Guyana, Colombia, and in the northern side there is a Caribbean Sea. Which country's parliament had voted in favor of amending the country's constitution to include climate and biodiversity protection? So this country is European country and it is France. Recently, lower house of French parliament voted in favor of amending the constitution to include climate and biodiversity protection. The current president of France is Emmanuel Macron. Now recently France was also in news as to strengthen the ecological partnership between India and France. Both countries launched Year of Environment. What does that mean? It means both India and France are going to cooperate and collaborate for the environmental conservation. Apart from that, France was also in news because of Aster X. So it was the first military exercise in space. What was the objective? Objective was to evaluate the ability of France to defend its assets in the space in case of any attack. So this Aster X is the world's first military exercise in space. So this Aster X is the first military exercise in space and it was conducted by France. The Sinatra Doctrine, which was in news, has been adopted by which international association? So it has been adopted by European Union, and various Central and Eastern European countries adopted this doctrine. So this doctrine has two major objectives. First is to increase cooperation with China, and second is to strengthen the sovereignty of European Union by protecting its technological sectors of its economy. Now in this context, recently one more term was in news and it is 17+1 initiative. So what is the 17+1 initiative? It is an initiative. It is also known as cooperation between China and CEE, that is Central and Eastern European countries. So this term is self-explanatory. CEE means the countries of Central Europe and countries of Eastern side of Europe. So the 17+ initiative is related to cooperation between China and CEE countries, and it is an initiative by Ministry of Foreign Affairs of China. So this is a collaboration between 17 countries of Central and Eastern Europe, and one country is China, obviously. Now recently this European Union was also in news because of carbon border agreements. Scientists of which organization have developed indigenous high electron mobility transistor, that is HEMTs. So this has been done by the scientists of IISc Bangalore, and they have developed India's first HEMT, that is high electron mobility transistor, and these were made from gallium nitride. Now these devices are used extensively in electric cars, locomotives, and in power transmission areas. So with this, India has started these indigenous high electron mobility transistors. The first one is made by the scientists of IISc Bangalore. Now this new technology for high electron mobility transistor will make India self-reliant in the power transistor technology. What is the name for the process of capturing carbon dioxide and converting it into solar fuel? So it is known as artificial photosynthesis. See, first thing first, what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is a process by which green plants transform light energy into chemical energy. Similarly, this process is done artificially, and that is why it has been given the name artificial photosynthesis. So recently, researchers from Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Scientific Research have developed a system to use carbon dioxide from the atmosphere to convert it into solar fuel. It means they captured carbon dioxide from atmosphere and used it to make solar fuel, and the process is given the name artificial photosynthesis. So this process produced oxygen as byproduct. In simplest term, what they did, this is atmospheric carbon dioxide. They used artificial photosynthesis process and they developed solar fuel. Along with it, oxygen was also produced. Oxygen was a byproduct. So this technology can help us to mitigate the harmful impact of carbon dioxide in environment. Now coming back to this Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Scientific Research. So this is a research institute and it is situated in Bengaluru in Karnataka. Now in the context of solar, recently ISA was also in news. ISA was in news because Italy is going to join ISA. It was also in news as it is going to launch World Solar Bank. ISA was also in news as recently Ajay Mathur has been elected as the chief of ISA. ISA is International Solar Alliance. Apart from that, in the context of solar energy, recently USAID. What is USAID? It is United States Agency for International Development, along with DFC, that is Development Finance Corporation of USA, announced that they are going to provide 41 million loan guarantee program, and this program is for SME, that is small and medium enterprises, so that they can access reliable power including solar energy. So what is this entire issue? See, two organizations, these two are associated with the USA. They are going to provide support to small and medium enterprises so that they can assess. That means these small and medium enterprises can assess reliable power sources, including solar energy, with the help of solar rooftop projects. As per which policy, more than 20-year-old personal vehicles would be deregistered from 1st of June 2024. So recently, a new vehicle scrappage policy was announced by Road Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari. Now, as per this policy, the personal vehicles which are more than 20 years old and which failed in the automated physical fitness test, such vehicles would be deregistered from 1st of June 2024. So here two important points are there. First is this date, June 1st, 2024. Now for personal vehicles, the time period is of 20 years. For commercial vehicles, the time period is of 15 years. That means after 15 years, your commercial vehicle will be deregistered. And for commercial vehicles, the date is different. It is 1st of April 2023. So the easiest way to remember is for personal vehicles, there is a concession or relaxation in both cases. That means in the implementation date as well as in the time duration. Apart from that, there is one more important point, that if a vehicle failed to pass the fitness test for 3 times, then such vehicle will not be allowed. That means the owner of that vehicle will not be able to drive it. If the vehicle failed the automated physical fitness test, what kind of test is being conducted? The test is conducted to check the emission done by the vehicle. That means how much pollutants are being emitted by this specific vehicle. What is Baikal GVD, which was in news recently? So it is the name of telescope and it has been deployed in the depth of Lake Baikal. It is the deepest lake known in Earth. And with the help of this telescope, scientists are going to research about neutrinos. What are neutrinos? These are the tiniest or the smallest known particle in the universe. So first thing first, this Baikal GVD is a telescope. It has been deployed in Lake Baikal. That's why it is easy to remember the name. Now this lake is in Russia. So as you can see the geographical location of Lake Baikal, this is Mongolia, this is Russia, and this is Lake Baikal. Now first thing first, it is the world's deepest lake. Second is it is largest freshwater lake by volume. So it comprises approximately 22 to 23% of fresh surface water of the world. It is also the oldest lake of the world. Recently, Russia was also in news because of Arctica M. Answer in comment box what is this Arctica M and what is its objective. So these were the most important questions. Now we are going to cover important news events. So first is CDRI. So recently CDRI was in news as after India's invitation, European Union has officially decided to join CDRI as member. As the name suggests, it is a coalition for disaster resilient infrastructure. It was launched in 2019 by our Prime Minister during UN Climate Change Summit. Next is out of frying pan into the fire. Actually, this is a part of report of UNCTAD. What is UNCTAD? It is United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. So this out of frying pan into the fire is a update of UNCTAD's report and it is Trade and Development report. Next is Girl Gang. So this is the official song of ICC Women's World Cup and it is going to be in 2022. And this has been released by Gin Wigmore. Gin Wigmore is from New Zealand. So this tournament is going to be in New Zealand and it will be in March 2022. Next is direct and indirect effects of COVID-19 pandemic and response in South Asia. Actually, the name of this report is not that much significant, but the findings are very significant. So recently this report was released by UNICEF, WHO and UNFPA. Now as per this report, India is expected to record largest increase in child and maternal deaths in South Asia. So this is some serious issue. Next is world's first baby with antibodies against coronavirus. So recently USA was in news as it has been reported that the world's first baby with antibodies against the coronavirus was born in USA. Next is PNB, that is Punjab National Bank. So recently this PNB was in news as it has recently launched PNB Cards and Services. So this is the subsidiary of PNB Bank and this will carry out non-financial support services related to credit card business. Next is Gram Ujala. So recently this was launched by Power Minister R.K. Singh. This was launched in Ara. Ara is in Bihar. Now this initiative has been launched. As a part of this initiative, LEDs will be given to the rural people. That is LED bulbs. Now 2 important points about this initiative is, first, it is an initiative of Convergence Energy Services Limited. So this is under EESL. What is EESL? It is Energy Efficiency Services Limited. Second part is that this scheme or this initiative will be financed through carbon credits, and therefore it is the first of such initiative to be financed by carbon credits. Now your homework is to read about what is carbon credit and how this system works. Next is Mobile Seva App Store. Like we have App Store by Google and different other platforms, similarly Government of India is also working on a indigenous app store, and this is going to be Mobile Seva App Store. Recently this was announced by MEITY Minister. Present MEITY Minister is Ravi Shankar Prasad. What is MEITY? It is Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Next is BECIL, that is Broadcast Engineering Consultants India Limited. So this is a government entity and it is under Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Recently Labour Bureau collaborated with this BECIL. Labour Bureau is under Ministry of Labour. So why these two entities collaborated? These collaborated for All India Survey on Migrant Workers and All India Quarterly Establishment Based Employment Survey. Please note that Labour Bureau is going to conduct 5 surveys. First is for migrant workers, second is this All India Quarterly Establishment Based Employment Survey, third is for domestic workers, fourth is related to employment opportunities provided by transport sector, and fifth is employment generated by the professionals. Next is UN World Happiness Report. So recently this report was released, and as per this report, India is on 139 position out of 149 countries. Finland is on top position, and this has been released by UNSDSN, that is United Nations Sustainable Development Solutions Network. So as per this, India is on 139th position. This is the 9th report, that is 9th World Happiness Report, and countries like Afghanistan, Zimbabwe and Rwanda are on bottom position. Recently on 20th of March, this World Happiness Day was celebrated. Theme was Keep Calm, Stay Wise. Now 20th of March was also celebrated as World Oral Health Day. It was also celebrated as World Sparrow Day. Next is NIT Rourkela. So recently NIT Rourkela was in news as ISRO decided to set up Space Technology Incubation Center in NIT Rourkela. And last one is MiG-21 Bison. So this is an aircraft of IAF, that is Indian Air Force. Recently it was in news because of accident. Now please note that these MiG-21s are to be replaced by LCA Tejas. LCA stands for Light Combat Aircraft. So these were the most important events. Thank you, and that's all for the day.